Fix something. I don't know if that mentions. It does. Nice. Sweet. Wait. Okay. That's fine. Whatever. Alright. Hopefully somebody's people who are going to join or whatever. That's this. Nice. Alright. That was an easy fix. You keep doing a G plus. Yeah, this character's been through NG plus I think 65 times. Most of that on Xbox. And then I've got another character that's been through 23 times. He's level 192. Actually, New Game Plus and then doing a point of interest burst and doing the quest to get through the Unity again is actually really nice XP. It's a more fun XP grind than like squashing bugs on pure Ross. Even though that is more efficient. I don't think it'll let me build any structures off the side of this because I put it so high in the air. But I know I need to prep an area for testing both of these mods. Sorry. Is it back? Everything good? I had a hiccup with my internet connection. Let me connect to my other device real fast and see. Just double checking. I apologize for the hiccup. I forgot that I temporarily changed my internet connection on my laptop last night. Okay, good. Alright, so go into another planet so I can build a place to do a bunch of testing. That's what I was doing. If you haven't joined my Discord yet, make sure you do. Hey, it's Ari. Doing Mountain Dew this morning myself. But there's a lot of posts in my task list on Discord if you want to see what I'm working on. I don't know that I'll work on all of that stuff here right now in the live stream because watching Creation Kit load and unload is not entertaining. Yeah, it's a lot of research. I'm sorry. I was like, people can just research the couple legendaries that they really want to apply to things. I don't like when it does that. I mean, I haven't posted any updates since DarkStar Manufacturing went live. Yeah. Well, which guns? Which guns are OP? Excuse me. Sorry. Three terminuses now. They're just different starting levels for. They should be different starting levels. So. They don't look like they're that varied here. They definitely were on Nira. Yeah, so that's definitely okay. That's higher. It's just this terrain is very wonky. I'll pick another spot. The AK-47. Yeah, but you said you got the NG plus 20. Are you talking about like the Ebon Guard enchant applied to it? They looking all the same height. No, I mean that's a little different. Okay, let's try it this way. So this one's fine being sunk in. That's the lowest that one goes. And that one's like, yeah, nah. I'm just gonna hover. Didn't this terrain look relatively flat from up on the hill? Oh, you're welcome, Pronto. I can't wait to get back to playing it. Someday, right? Someday. Just gotta get this stuff stable and then I can spend a couple weeks just playing before I get on to the next mod development. I'm just trying to build a quick outpost so that I can do some testing after the stream ends and like flipping back and forth between DarkStar Astrodynamics and manufacturing, and I'll be in and out of Creation Kit and Xedit, and it's gonna be crazy. Yes, Atari. Yes, fine. No, I'm not going to make a rain mod. No matter how much you ask, buddy. That is not what I do. Clearly, DarkStar mods are cool, but also make life difficult. All that research, all the resources you got to gather if you want to play legit. Honestly, when I put up the very first version of DarkStar Astrodynamics, it was so expensive to build a ship, and I felt that was very balanced compared to the power level of the non-DarkStar parts. But the very first thing people asked for was, oh, can you make one that doesn't require any perks? Doesn't require any credits to build any ships? I just want it for free. Yeah, no problem, Randy. You know what this means is that most of us like the same thing, because I just build mods for me. And I'm just happy people think they're cool and use them. Alright, that's ready. So I fixed the terminals, the terminuses. There's now 3 sizes, 3 height levels that they start with. And then, of course, the transfer link, I fixed that just now so that you can only build one. Right now you can build multiple at your base and it'll actually cause bugs. Because I forgot to set that little bit flag when I built it originally. And also coming in the next update is that this vendor and this vendor will reset in 25 hours. So just to test that real quick. This varies, their credits vary on this one between 35 and 58,000, I think was the range that it set. This is not using a custom credit range anymore. Right now what it's actually using is a credit range that is assigned to general vendors of a certain type. I think it's like weapon dealer or industrial or something like that. And it's using a few copies of it. But that's so that if there's a game script or something like that that changes the vendor credit amount, it should apply to this kiosk now. But what I want to do, so this is selling harnesses. So that's the other thing. This loot that it sells is randomized to an extent. Anything that's armor, packs, helmets, guns, because it's using boss loot to determine what it sells. So the boss loot you would get from like a point of interest or an elite enemy. I don't understand what you mean there. Can somebody help translate what that means? But I need to sell it something too so that I can... I don't want to sell those, I just bought them. That doesn't change anything, so no. I don't have any. Oh, I guess I could sell these. So the vendor's down to 9,818 credits. And it's got, oh, I didn't want to buy that. And it should have these things in its inventory. Sometimes you gotta hit it a couple times. It doesn't always register the fact that you're trying to activate it. I assure you, if you're persistent, it will work. Alright, so those are listed. And then I will rest in the rain. So much fun. Anybody remember doing this for 48 hours at every vendor so you could sell 5,000 credits worth of weapons? Which half the time meant you couldn't even sell your expensive weapons. I remember whole play sessions on my Xbox back in September, October, November that were nothing but me waiting for a vendor to reset. Oh, I can craft some weapons in a minute. Hey, Tari, it's not raining anymore. Credits seem to be reset. The legendary relics that I sold it are gone. And the resources, it now has more quantum harnesses in stock. So, there you go. Just reset the TA kiosk in a single one-day rest, which was equivalent to 26 hours. So, there's that. Did I dump resources? Okay. So, let me get crafting stations. That's going to be obstructed. That's not. Oh, come on. I'm going to have to ignore it. It's going to bug me, but I'll have to ignore it. Alright, so here's what I'll do. If I go to this kiosk, I'm going to buy a vanilla weapon. So, we'll get this Scout's Relic Eon. So, this is all of the weapons that are sold in there, and armor and stuff, as I was saying. Those all are boss or elite point of interest chest drops. I added, I think it was the military level list twice or three times, the industrial level list, and the science level list. That's what his inventory is populated from. So you will get random legendaries and stuff like that. But if you are low enough leveled that you haven't unlocked a weapons crafting, these won't show up. So these recipes here only show up when you have, not the enhancement, the crafting. What am I doing? Weapon crafting. These only show up when you have unlocked relic level for a given weapon. So you won't be able to just raw craft everything you want right out of the gate. But once you have one, then you can go to a weapon enhancement station. And the reason you want to do this is you want to swap a vanilla weapon like that Eon I bought from the vendor, or I could have looted it, and I want to swap that for an enhanced version, which very slightly upgrades the damage on it. Almost imperceptible. It's like 2 points base damage per weapon. But that also, you can see quality now shows up out down here as constructible. So once this is showing up on the bottom of your weapon list, then that is now configurable, customizable by you. You do this whenever you want to do this. This is up to you. So until you do that, you're just using a vanilla game weapon. You're not using one that I modified or changed with my mod at all. The extra quality tiers show up, but those edits were outside of the weapon file. The Mark III stuff is only for ballistic weapons. So that's all that's for. It changes a ballistic and adds energy damage to it to turn it into particle beam. So I did not do the similar thing with energy weapons and say, oh, let's add ballistic to it so that it becomes particle beam. Energy weapons just stay energy weapons. Particle beam weapons just stay particle beam. Because when you get into the energy weapon thing, you also get into having to dance around, did they install the EM version of this or not, and it gets really, really weird really fast. But further, if you didn't decide, okay, I've reached high enough level that I want to start customizing that thing. Oh, I need a weapon particle core. And you want to turn it into a particle beam weapon, you come build one of these, which is not cheap, as you could just see. It's for whatever part of the game you want. A lot of this stuff unlocks earlier than you think. So let me go to, I'll have those slates with me. Let's see. No. Actually, I might. I think this is the character I picked them all up on. Notes. Hey, yeah, there we go. So the crafting unlocks get a little wonky because of that. You know, I had to limit that because it was the raw crafting of the original vanilla item because of the way the game was rolling quality levels. Without rewriting every weapon file, I couldn't prevent it from giving you a relic one at level 1. So that's a little bit higher tier, but the rest of them, like you can craft a Mark II auto rivet at level 5. You can turn it into a vial weapon, a particle beam version at level 10. Oh, not a problem, Wesley. SG, I'm going to just call you SG. Again, it all depends on what you want to do with your weapons. If you don't upgrade to the enhanced version, you can't customize legendary, or the legendaries the same way. You can't customize the quality level on the weapon. If you're happy with the calibrated Eon that you looted and never want to turn it into a refined, then fine, don't ever enhance it. Well, like that Eon, you could bring over here like right away at like level 5, and you can create an enhanced version of it. That then, from that point on, you can just come back to any weapon workbench and constantly upgrade that Eon as you level. And then when you hit level 10, you can come back and turn it into a vial weapon and have a particle beam Eon at like level 10. And just carry that particle beam weapon all the way through until you go into the Unity. So there's no reason to hold back unless you just prefer to hold back. Like, I'd say that the weapon enhancement workbench becomes viable and useful at like level 5. And I would say the weapon vial crafting becomes useful at level 10. No, this character isn't under research. Yeah, and vanilla weapons upgrade that have the new quality tiers and all that can drop in the base game. Even I don't know which chisel is used for which recipe, because the game decided to name them all the same thing. But I figured, hey, people can guess and figure it out. That's part of the fun. And, 6 more quantum harnesses. Oh, I think it was at 1,500, 14 or 1,500 hours in January when I got this gaming PC and moved off of console. Now I can do what I wanted to do. What was it I wanted to do? Oh, apply legendaries. So actually I'm going to try Envoy. So I haven't modified any of this. I'm hearing that Envoy 2 can break that. I can still customize these things. Envoy 3. Yep. Envoy 3 breaks the weapon. Do not use Envoy 3. Force Recon seems fine. Not, I'm the wrong one. Spec Ops 3. That one seems fine. Yeah, it's just a Spec Ops trio on this guy. Pistons. I need the weapon particle core. Ah, they're right into the thing. I have more now. Alright. There we go. Spec Ops Relic Eon Mark III. Which is absurd. I'd say that works. Alright, so yeah, just don't use the Envoy enchants, everybody. I'll have to figure that one out. That one's going to be very, very odd to figure out. Is that a good enough example there for you, SG? Now do you see why I would recommend that you go with a file upgrade on your weapon as soon as you can? Look at the damage it does now. 470 and 445. So this one's Relic. Actually, I'll make a Mark II one and a vanilla one. So crafting, Eon, hopefully this spawns as Relic. Nope, that was refined. Can't upgrade quality on that. So I'm modified, refined, refined. And I'm on Fermi 3, it's a level 75 world. Calibrated. I'm gonna have to do this a bunch of times, aren't I? I'm gonna have to check to see if there's one in the vendor, I think. This is what I mean, it just spawns random quality when you craft them, and there's no way to control it from the, if they're vanilla things. Alright, I'm gonna have to check the vendor. But first, let me enhance this. I'll just pick any one. Okay, so I'll have one that I can upgrade as a comparison. Let's see if this has any Eons. There's a modified Relic Eon. Sell. Okay. So, modified Relic Eon, there's modified Eon, I don't need that guy. And then there's the one that's equipped. So, first of all, let's go to the Mark II, and I will trick him out the same way. Give him. I did Spec Ops, so I'll do Spec Ops on this. What am I missing? Oh, Quantum Harnesses. Fun times. Luckily, you can loot those, right? I never said crafting in this mod was cheap. It is very expensive. Alright, so there we are. That's as maxed out as he can go. Let me make sure that I got the... I did do the recon laser. Now here's the Relic version of the vanilla weapon. So it is still a vanilla weapon. The only thing that's new on this one that I'm holding right here is the relic quality. But everything else is exactly a vanilla, non-modified base game Eon. More quantum harnesses. Alright, so Binary Trigger, Spec Ops 1, 2, and 3. It was already Relic. Everything else is the same. So now, let's compare. So, the base game vanilla Relic version of the Eon with the same mods on it, and my enchants on it, the same enchants, is 262 damage. The Mark II is 315. So those extra 2 points of damage that I add to it when you turn it into an enhanced version, a Mark II version, scale upwards. It's not a flat 2 points across the board. That 2 points of base damage gets amplified by everything else. I don't know what you mean by dungeon item upgrade mods. If you're talking about things that add things to loot, it may conflict, but only with this current version. I'm going to be doing a modification of it in the very near future that doesn't do hard edits to loot lists. For now, just load mine last, and then it'll eventually remove conflicts for loot lists. So you can see the Mark I, or the standard vanilla game Starfield version of the Eon, 262, jumps to 315 because of the way scaling works when you're on the enhanced or Mark II version, and then it jumps to 470/445 when it's a particle beam version. So if you're not somebody that wants to ever be like, oh, this is too OP, it's a particle beam Eon, don't make one. You will occasionally see non-enchanted versions of these Mark III weapons drop from enemies, but those will always be unenchanted from an enemy. So sure, they can have them and they can fire a particle beam Eon at you, but at least it's not going to hit like this thing would. They can wield this at you. Or no, they won't. Mark II's never drop. This one can drop. The Relic version. Fully enchanted. Not with these enchants, but fully enchanted. Mark II's never drop. Mark III's can rarely drop from boss and elite chests. Hey, no problem, Dave. But that was a good example. Thank you for asking me to do that. Because then this definitely shows the difference. And you'll also see, if you watch over here, the ammo type changes. Because it's the Mark III uses the volatile rounds, which makes them more expensive to use. Because that ammo you have to craft. And it's not a cheap crafting recipe. I mean, it's cheapish. Cheaper than what Bethesda did for ammo crafting. And if nobody's noticed yet, for those of you who might not have, the ammo crafting bench, this is where all the ammo crafting that the base game added moved to. I just moved it over here. I'm like, I already got a workbench for that. I'll do that. And they are 20 times the yield of what Bethesda gave you. Let's see, that's the other thing I wanted to test. Let me quick save and go back to this bench and edit my actual armor. So DarkStar Astrodynamics allows you to do this to Starborn suit. This is not available in the base game Starborn suits. The hazard and explosive. Heavy shielding. Gravitic. And I wanted to change this to the DarkStar boost pack from the Starborn boost pack. And see if that breaks my boosting. It did not. So for those few people, very few, it's like 2 or 3 on all the forums, who've had issues with the DarkStar boost pack or the Starborn boost pack, I can't recreate that issue. They work fine on all of my saves. It doesn't mean I don't believe you. I totally believe you. But it may be another mod that's doing something to boost packs that ends up causing a conflict with the DarkStar or Starborn boost pack. And if any of you need a reason to go through New Game Plus 50 times, that's the armor you can get. Yeah, not a problem. You're very welcome. That's why I do this stream. People can ask questions. Anybody else have any questions? Anything you'd like to see me do? The outfit I have on. Sure. It's under, yeah. So apparel crafting is available at level 1. I think you have to have spacesuit design or something like that. No, you don't. There's no requirements for apparel, the initial apparel crafting. But this list is massive because there are 228 vanilla outfits that are not flagged as non-playable, and I added them all. Imogen Salso's suit. And way down at the bottom. You see Navy crew hat. We'll go in here and find those again. And they're going to trade the ones I just made for an enhanced version. No, not the chunks cap. Oh. Imogene Salzo's suit. So the ingredient is the original Imogene Salzo's suit. I will be adding more ships in more mods later. They may not be inside DarkStar Astrodynamics. Come on. You see Navy crew hat. They're only in the lodge, but the terminal is also in the lodge. And I did set the slates so that they're unsellable. So once you pick them up, you'll have them, and you can just carry them around with you. Unless you use some type of weird glitchy vendor trick to sell them, you shouldn't be able to sell them. So there's the new Imogene Salzo Mark II suit and the new Mark II hat that I just crafted. And then I can just go to the normal spacesuit crafting bench and customize them. So this would just be a matter of me giving it the same Legendaries and the same thing. I'm not going to go through and apply all of it, but you can see I can just apply whatever legendaries and change the apparel quality and change the lining to match whatever I want it to be. Yeah, and then it's up to you what you put on which piece of equipment. And of course, those do stack with what's on armor. If you're making normal non-starboard armor, then spacesuits and helmets gain a lining slot. They're somewhat reduced versions of what's available for linings. No, the infinite storage box that's next to the crafting stations in the basement of the lodge intentionally does not link to the workbenches, and that is because when you enhance an item or you do the vile crafting on a weapon, that eats an item, destroys it. So if you are in the lodge basement and you want to make sure that you're not holding something that you're going to lose, like let's see if I can give you an example. No. I don't think I can do that. But let's say you looted a Revenant from the Crimson Fleet quest line, and you don't want it to go away. You want to put it on a workbench or a weapon rack or whatever, but you don't have one in your inventory yet, or you haven't built one. You're running around with it still in your bags, and you go to craft a different mag shear, you're going to risk eating that Revenant and destroying it forever. So that chest next to them is designed for you to drop things off, pick up some resources, do your crafting, and then drop the resources back off and pick up the items that you placed in there to protect. There's plenty of limitations with the creation kit. There's things that I've done that technically aren't supported or possible. I was point blank told by the developers that custom ships weren't supported and shouldn't work. And yet, here my mod is, giving away 5 of them. Yeah, I know it's a little bit inconvenient, Jimbo, but it was to protect you from yourself, and to give you a way to protect yourself from yourself. I know how easy it is to get eager to, oh my god, I'm going to build this new cool item, and you just click through spamming E so fast. The next thing you know, you just ate 3 pieces of equipment you didn't want to lose, and there's no way to get them back if you didn't have a recent save. You know? Now, these link to the outpost. This is an outpost, and if I can build anything here, I can't craft. Not by default, you can't customize the lodge basement, but here I know that you can go and you can drop this guy or this guy, and then use that as a safe storage for items you don't want to lose. Yeah, I can treat this like a little dumping ground and be like, oh, I don't want to lose this, you know, so I'll dump it in there. Just make sure, take that as a pro tip, make sure you're placing some non-linked storage next to where you're crafting so that you can do that. I don't want to see you lose any gear you wanted to keep. I don't like that bug squishing sound. This character's so poor. I routinely clear inventory on my characters while I'm testing mods. like with the hard command that deletes the gear. Alright, well, I guess I am going to log out of the game and load Creation Kit and just get back to work. For anybody that's just bouncing through, make sure that you are checking join the Discord, and you can come in here and check what I'm working on and see if there's something that I'm not working on that you want me to work on. Well, thank you. Alright, so I just fixed... Where was it? This guy. There we go. And then I go to dev progress and add it here. Oh, I have no idea. Encounters are one of the glitchier things in the creation kit right now. Originally, that DarkStar Avenger was going to come to you by way of a space encounter and not require you using a terminal, but space encounters of that kind were glitchy in the creation kit beta. They may be fixed now. I'm going to reinvestigate when I work on my next mod, but yeah, let me start this wonderful slow process. Can you please? Thank you. Task list. Alright, cloaking device sticking around when not uninstalled, or when uninstalled. I guess I could actually let that finish, but I can launch the game again and go test that. But I have future plans that will include ground battles and space battles and stuff like that being completely built from scratch. And what is that thing at the bottom of my screen? Okay. This is why I keep a task list now. Because it's impossible for my brain to keep track of everything I need to check out and work on. Are you gonna load? Probably because it's loading the creation kit in the background at the same time. Alright, so I'm just really quickly going to build a ship that I can throw that cloaking device on. Totally not sitting there as my home ship right now. What the heck? Love that. Okay. There we go. Build. Oh, I gotta register it. I don't know if that'll ever be the case, Wolfshade, but I do know that I plan on trying to add some custom buildings and outpost tabs and stuff like that in the future. I just can't give you any idea what date that would happen. Grab drive. No. Come back here. Now you can merge in. I love customizing a cutter. Let's see. Let's get some Class A engines. Go with, where is it? That's B. That's A with 2 power. Equipment. And weapons. So many weapons. Oh my goodness. Okay. And then I need the disruptor. Let's go with that guy, I guess. I will put this up here, actually. And get, disintegrator. It's my favorite weapon. Get a weapon out. Which will be cargo. Anything here? Sorry. I know this isn't the most entertaining thing. Sure, that looks fine. Big old honking thing on the side. Let's check weapons. Go with the disintegrator. I'll go that annihilator, disintegrator third. Okay. I don't care about cargo. I don't care about any of that stuff right now at all. I did a few little minor things for Fallout 4 that weren't really significant at all. Oh no, I won't be removing anything from the mods if it's here unless it's completely, absolutely, irreparably broken by something Bethesda adds in the future. All of my features always stick around. The one exception being boost pack mods. If I find repeated instances of people having the boost pack mod failures, that boost pack failure can actually permanently ruin your save. And that's the one thing I will not ever want to keep around if I have something ruining people's saves. I'm sure you can understand that. So there's the cloaking in action. So it works as expected there. Now let's go take it off the ship and see. Yeah, I did like a couple minor, tiny little mods for Fallout that fix like the home base apartment floor and stuff like that. Nothing significant. Well, you can download them. You just gotta do a little bit of, and you shouldn't have to. It's a game problem that causes it to be a bug. Where's my ship land over there? That's okay. But let's build him. But you just got to make sure you trust the mod author and trust that they've done their due diligence and all of that stuff. You know, as with anything. There are definitely mod authors out there that will just throw things to the wind, and you know, it's either they get too excited about what they just built, or they don't have they don't think that, oh, I need to test this. I don't know what goes through their heads, but there are definitely some that I've run into that really just produce stuff and throw it out and hope for the best. Oh, I'm sure. I haven't had a chance to play with anybody else's mods yet since Creations went live. And before Creations went live, even though I was on Steam PC and Xbox Game Pass, I avoided anything that required the Starfield script extender because I knew I was going to be making mods that also went to Xbox. I didn't want to get, you know, any problems from any of the crossover. So I just uninstalled the cloaking device. Let's see. Yep, still cloaks. No idea why that's the case. That is totally bizarre. I wonder if it sticks around after I switch ships. It might keep that. It's supposed to be a temporary perk that gets assigned to the ship, or a setting that gets assigned to the ship when you have that installed. And it might just be persisting until you switch ships. So let's go to a non-cloaking ship, the Frontier. And let's just go up in orbit and verify. And yeah, I think that is also part of the issue, Focus Break. Like the first versions of this that were Xedit developed, not before Creation Kit was out. I did everything myself, but it was like 3 weeks of development on Astrodynamics and then 3 weeks of testing, and then I published it. You know, not everybody has the time or the patience to do that. And especially with a mod this huge. I think I had one of the largest by forms edited and created count. I think I had one of the largest mods on Nexus. No, I'm OCD. That's I'm not determined. I'm OCD. When I hyperfixate on something, I have to see it through to completion, or I get anxiety attacks if I don't. So this. Did I add? Oh no. This is the Frontier. Is it a customized Frontier? Or do I have cloaking on every ship now? Okay, so it's not that it persists, it's that you are getting cloaking permanently for all ships as soon as you install that on one ship. Okay, that's a problem. Or is this... No, this was customized. This has cloaking. This has cloaking installed on it. This is the one I did for the mod release video thing. Okay. But let me go back to the other one. Actually, I'm going to do a different test. Let me buy a ship with credits I don't have. Add item F. Too many numbers. There we go. Buy a ship. That one is now my home ship. I'll fly that and then come back and land it. This has never been modified, so it should not have cloaking device tech built into it. I was thinking about doing that after some of the bugs stabilize and I get a few another update out for both of the mods. I'm thinking of doing a series of how you do this one thing in manufacturing videos, and a series of how you do this one thing in astrodynamics, and maybe some leveling path kind of things. Like, you know, as you're leveling up, this will be how you experience the game. I don't know. My preference would be some other creator would do those playthrough sessions, because I'm not actually, I don't consider myself a content creator. I'm just a mod author that creates content to support his mods. It's a different thing. Like, I never go into this thinking, how do I entertain people? How do I respond to super chats? I need a cool animation for when somebody donates this. My brain doesn't work that way. So this has no cloaking. Sweet, it didn't persist. And carry over to a new ship. So now let's go and switch back to... Thank you, Larry. Let's go switch back to the ship I removed that cloaking device from and see if it does indeed persist after you change ships. If it doesn't, then I will not consider this a critical bug. I keep hitting my sprint button, or caps lock key, and turning off, or turning on walk mode. Yeah, I like Dean Poe. He isn't very well known for modded playthroughs. He mostly does, you're level 1, how do you gear up? And I appreciate that. I want to see him... Hold on, let me test this and then I'll talk about that. I have a playthrough I want to see Dean Poe do. I am on his Discord, just as a visitor, and he does now know that I mod. But I don't want to ask him like self-serving questions and requests. Alright, so this had cloaking device installed by me. I uninstalled it, switched ships around. It still cloaks. Yep, that's a bug. I don't think everybody is going to complain about that, but I know some people... Wise Old Wizard, he was testing it out And he's like, yeah, that gives me a graphics hiccup on my computer, causes a little bit of lag. I don't like it. He tried to uninstall it, and it didn't actually uninstall. Or it did uninstall, but the effects stuck around. So now I have a ship I can replicate that with. But no, what I was going to say is, when you are running around with DarkStar Manufacturing installed, you can ignore the rest of the mod. What I'd like to see is, and still get benefits. So what I'd like to see is Dean Poe do a playthrough where he starts a character at level 1 with DarkStar Manufacturing installed and has a rule for that playthrough that he's not allowed to craft anything. Right? And then I want to see him go to a level 75 world to a point of interest at his level 5-6 habitual self pace and try to survive, because those enemies will be shooting relic and unrivaled quality weapons at him, which will do more than twice the damage output that he's used to experiencing. Like this character, level 273, with the armor she's carrying, has been has been one tapped. Look at that freaking armor, 1127 physical on just that one piece. And then, of course, she's also wearing other equipment that gives her stuff. 1352 total physical. Ridiculous. And she got one shot. Well, again, I built the mod, so it's self-promo if I ask him to do it. I don't like doing that. I usually try and avoid talking about my mods in communities that I don't manage. It ends up happening inevitably, but... So if you have a cloaking device on your home ship, it copies over to the... That is awesome! Oh, this character hasn't done the simulator. Let's go see. So I had it installed on that ship. This character is on NG plus 65. If you're on PC, you can actually get this character as a save game from Nexus. DarkStar boost packs. So we had a funny in testing. I don't know if Sadir's still here, but one of the versions of this boost pack during the testing of Astrodynamics, I was actually able in 2 jumps to get to the top of mast. The problem was you could never safely land because it was doing it even when you were trying to prevent fall damage, like with tiny little blips. Well, I want to go test to see if I can repeat it, because then that becomes a condition I can check into for.
What do we got here? Another app? Interested in doing some? Glad to hear.
I want to see how this
have you working your way to UC
effect kind of ripples through the game.
Well,
it'll help me narrow down what's going on
down to the Vanguard orientation hall.
with the actual
You can get
ship
started
component.
at any of the registration terminals. The system will walk you through the rest. And if you've got any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
I want you to shut up so I can walk away. Thank you.
Registration accepted. You may now proceed through the historical displays in
In 2150, humanity learned the Earth's magnetosphere would from their foundation. It was only in 22. The Freestar Collective was initially beginning in 2240. House Baru. Of the many conflicts between the galaxies, few settled worlds were left untouched by the Colony War. In the midst of the Colony War, a different kind of after the devastation wrought by the Colony War. The UC. It was into this new world that the Vanguard was born. No one is born a United Colony citizen. Only.
Welcome, applicant, to the piloting simulation chamber. Please enter the designated simulation pod to initiate your exam.
Okay, so current home ship is a ship that does not currently have the cloaking device installed. It was sitting right here, destroyed it. It still cloaks. I want to see if that still persists into the simulator.
This is the Mark 18 flight simulation chamber, applicant. Currently in orbit around a high-detail recreation of a remote world. When you're ready to begin, please take a seat in the pilot's chair. Your exam is simple.
Well, I am that person that'll go into a store and walk down the toy aisle and mess with all of the toys to make them all make noise. So this is not cloaking. Let me go back to... here, and I'll fast travel to the spaceport. So even though it's persisting on the ship, it didn't persist into the simulator in that case. But my Frontier has one installed, so
Anything?
let me go.
Hey, what can I do for you? Sure.
No, not build. Home. Okay. And I didn't unlock mast, but I can travel to the lodge and just run over. So I now have a ship with the cloaking device installed
Mast finally sent someone down there, but
as my home ship versus the one I started this with that had a bugged cloaking device scenario.
only those unofficial.
This is a
United
non-bugged
Colonies
cloaking
business
device scenario.
access the bill.
I don't, because it's always so different. It's not a lot of the same. It's always, okay, test this scenario, play this scenario, test that scenario, do this scenario. Working on individual features, working on, you know, mass loop things. I'll get burned out on the code side of it.
This is the Mark 18 flight simulation chamber, applicant. Currently in orbit around a high-detail recreation of a remote world. When you're ready to begin, please take a seat in the pilot's chair. Your exam is simple. Defeat as many tiers of opponents.
Oh my god. Why?
You must defeat at least 3 tiers of opponents.
Why does that happen?
Good hunting, applicant.
That doesn't make any sense. Somebody make it make sense.
New targets active.
This is a separate ship template, so is it using your home ship as it? Is it using your home ship to do things to you? To this ship? It shouldn't be. Well, these lasers are terrible. I mean, I could probably do a mod at some point that overrides this ship to give it some real, you know, like a DarkStar simulator overhaul. But I think your enemies would have them too. Hey, look at this on extreme. These pathetic weapons on extreme. Those lasers are just tickling his shield. Like, hey, let me in, let me in, let me in. We just want to play. It's for fun times. Seriously, just let us in.
Is this your first time flying?
This is impossible in extreme. Alright, so I didn't mean to exit out that way. We'll just park this here. The next pilot won't mind. I don't know why it does that crossing over thing. It shouldn't. I'll show you my skill tree. If I can stop accidentally hitting that button, that would be great. I have most things maxed out. All over the place. My level 192 character, all of this tree is 100% maxed. This character, like, I never use EM ship weapons or missile systems, really. So those aren't maxed. On my other character, the only thing that isn't maxed is targeting control systems. And then I think both of them have the same spread here, where geology and botany just really aren't worth your time. Zoology is really only useful up to 3. And then combat, the other character has more of these completed. Like, this character's never really done anything with EM weapons or trying to incapacitate people, nothing with melee, and nothing really with demolitions. So they're a little bit varied there. They definitely had a different leveling path. This one's definitely further along on physical. And you can see I've got skill points I can't use because I haven't been playing, so I haven't focused on doing any of the challenges. But the level 272 version of this character is available in Nexus if you're on PC. If you just want to play a high-level character occasionally. I still recommend playing a character through on your own and earning things yourself. It's more fun. But alright, so that was odd. Yeah, I didn't do the takeoff and land again thing first with this outpost, so my ship's not landing on it. Oh. Accidental triggering of sensed star stuff. Alright, so now I have a ship I can test that with. Let's go look at... No, seriously. Close that. And load Astro. How's everybody's day going so far? I guess I've been going about an hour and a half, huh? I may end this soon if people don't have questions. You can see the joy that is trying to load Creation Kit. And I'm on a relatively decent machine. Yep. Boost pack warning. Nice, nice. I am on the east coast of the U.S., so it's 12:04 p.m. for me, so it's noon, lunchtime. Which is why I'm eating a meal replacement bar right now. So I apologize if you can hear me chewing or anything. What was it going to look at? That would be global base forms or generic forms, chip modules, equipment, EQ. Let's go to Cloak. There it is. So this attaches to shield generator. Manufacturer DarkStar Outstrip Dynamics. Let's say position top 8. Okay. DarkStar ship can cloak actor value. That's what it is. So that I have linked in a perk. Let's go to the actor value though. I think that's under miscellaneous actor value. DarkStar ship can cloak actor value. Use info. And that is used in this perk. This is a base game perk where I added this one. Thanks, Starborn ship cloaking. Well, entry point. Ship target. Okay. So if the it's because these conditions. I know how to fix it. It's not fun. I gotta look up how I did that. Yeah, I'm on. Rick Sasha. I've got 32 megs of RAM, so or through 2 gigs of RAM. Sorry. They'll be fine. Just, use some DarkStar weapons and hope you don't run into a pirate. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna hop off of this, go get something real to eat, and then I now have a fix for this, I'm pretty sure. So I will leave this open so that I can come back here. Please remember to join the Discord. There's sections for chatting with other players and me on DarkStar Manufacturing and Astrodynamics, places to ask for help. When I'm communicating with you guys on the Discord and I see a problem, I'll add it to my task list, and you can watch and see when it gets crossed off. You'll be able to check my dev progress and see what's coming next for the next version of whatever mod. If you become part of my testing crew, then you'll get access to the testing sections and be able to help me iron things out and make sure things work. I do have 3 testers right now when they have time, who join in and contribute. They are all currently the mods on the Discord. And other than that, it's a safe space. The only rule is don't be a dick. So. And I'll talk to you all later. Thank you for